In the deck, you have 8 seconds to answer and 3 choices to pick from. Our questions will range from easy to pretty dang tough. You guys get the question right, you'll advance to the next round. Make it to the end, you'll win or split the cash between you. But even if you do get eliminated, keep playing for points on our leaderboards and keep referring your friends to sign up for the game as well, because when you do, both you and your friend will get a free life to use on questions 1 through 9. Remember, you can only use one of those free lives per game, so choose wisely. With that, it is now officially time to play. $500 is in the cash bucket tonight. 12 questions is all it takes. Ready, set, go. Roll Q1. In which sport would you wear a helmet? Swimming, football, or golf? Hopefully you don't need too much time to think about it. After all, Q1 is pretty simple, so get those answers in so we can keep this party going to Q2. You, of course, wear a helmet in football. No surprise, although it would be very interesting if you had to wear a helmet to swim. We're talking about one of the greatest pastimes here. Speaking of, got to give a shout out to our Carolina Panthers. Can't wait for the game this weekend. They will be up north, and it wouldn't be fall without football, so let's keep moving to Q2. Which could you use to get to the moon? A space shuttle, airplane, or a glider? 2 of these would get you pretty high in the sky, but I'm not sure you'd want to fly through the atmosphere in them. There have been several in history that have taken astronauts to the moon and orbit around Earth and all over space in general. I'm talking about the way to transport yourself, of course. Space shuttles, yeah. Maybe Elon Musk knows a thing about those. With SpaceX and that whole craze tourism thing happening, maybe we'll have cars in space sooner than later. Q3, time for some history. Which was the first state to ratify the Constitution? Was it California, Alaska, or Delaware? Okay, at first glance, this seems kind of hard for Q3. If you aren't sure, maybe take another look at those answer choices, because I'm willing to bet you could easily narrow it down. The first state to ratify the Constitution was also the first state, Delaware, and that was today's free clue. On our Instagram and Twitter pages, we give one out before every show, so be sure to follow us at the Q Trivia and my handles as well to make sure you get an extra step forward in the game. Cali and Alaska, of course, joined the Union much later on, so it only makes sense that they couldn't be the answer. But now you guys know. You guys can head on to question 4 and use your extra life if you need it. In which state could you find a Titanic museum? Kentucky, Missouri, or Indiana? That's right, one of these states is home to a museum dedicated to the ship that sank in the 20th century. And in fact, it's one of 2 Titanic museums owned by the same company. The other one is in Tennessee, but you can find a Titanic museum in Branson, Missouri. 2,104 of you knew that very odd trivia. If you find yourself in Missouri, now you know where to go. It holds artifacts from the ship, and who knows, maybe it has stuff from the movie. Let's be honest, we love that film. Let's keep moving to Q5. Which originated in China? Shinto, Taoism, or Jainism? These are all ancient religions with origins in Asia, but they're not all from the same nation. So which of these is from the massive country of China? Get those answers in before time runs out. We, of course, are looking for the popular Taoism. Shinto comes from Japan and Jainism from India. Taoism is a little more than a religion. It's a whole philosophy that goes back centuries, and it's been around for a very, very long time. You guys aced that one, and now let's talk about some sea animals. Q6. Which is often referred to as the canary of the sea? Is it bottlenose dolphins, orcas, or beluga whales? All such beautiful creatures, seriously, who of the sea? Is it bottlenose dolphins, orcas, or beluga whales? All such beautiful creatures, seriously, who doesn't love aquatic mammals? Somebody loved one of these guys so much that they decided to dub them the canary of the sea, and the name just stuck. I've never heard of it until today, but apparently it's quite popular. We're looking for the beluga whale here. 900 people know this name. I guess they sound like they're singing when they make sounds. How sweet. I get it. Canary kind of sounds like a bird. All right, we'll stop, but sounds cute. Okay, let's talk fashion, shall we? Q7, let's go to the runway for this one, which is not one of the big 4 fashion weeks. Paris, London, or Rome Fashion Week. In fact, these major fashion weeks just happened last month. You guys missed out if you didn't know. September is the big issue for fashion because that's when all the spring styles for the following year debut. And anyone is present at these events, except for the three of us. Our invites got lost in the mail. But the Big Four of Fashion Week does not include Rome. The Big Four, of course, New York, Milan, Paris, and London. Everything else is much, much smaller. And even here in our home base in Charleston, South Carolina, we have our own Fashion Week, but nothing compared to the glitz and glamour of Paris, the OG one. Strutting over to question 8. Which is the oldest Catholic college in the United States? Is it Georgetown University, University of Notre Dame, or Fordham University? These are all some of the most well-known Catholic universities in the nation, but which one was first? It was founded by a man named John Carroll in the 18th century and still has plenty of students today. It is Georgetown that we're looking for. It's a gorgeous campus and probably has a tuition to match. Student loans, bring them on. Gotta love them, right? We are only 4 questions away from the end, and we have 504 of you still marching on. Time for a little happy hour trivia. We are taking it to the bar for question number 9. And my workday is over, so that's where I'll be after this game. Question 9. This alcohol is flavored with anise. Might not know how to pronounce that one, but drinkers out there, you will know it. Is it Cointreau, Campari, or Pastis? All of those of you wondering what the heck anise is or how to say it like me, it's a member of the carrot family, but it doesn't taste like that. It actually tastes like black licorice, which is equally gross to me, but maybe you've had it in desserts or mulled wine over the holidays. It's also a flavoring in pastis. You guys knew that? How? I've never even heard of these words, but you guys know that this is a French liquor that is served cold and very popular in the summer. All right, now let's move on to a crowd favorite, food. Question 10. Season 1, Episode 1 of Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives is titled Griddles and Vittles, From Pork to Pasta or Classics. Man, do I love a good Triple D episode, you guys. He is on point, especially when you have a big plate of food in front of you, because it usually makes you want to cook. And I'm usually starving while watching that show. If you guys didn't know, and not sincere fans, you will find out that the first episode, season 1, episode 1, was classics. And that was what we call a buster question, because 344 of you went for pork to pasta, but it is in fact classics, and we have whittled down to just 39 of you that are heading on to question number 11. We're going to some Halloween themed trivia for this one. Seems only fair as we just entered October, but of course it's 90 stinking degrees here in South Carolina, so it doesn't feel like fall. But let's move over to question number 11. Which is a vampire? Is it a Lamia, Gramarye, or Wraith? You know, like Dracula, Edward Cullen, and Count Von Count, for those of you who grew up with Sesame Street, although it has another meaning as well, female demon. Ooh, sounds like some spooky scaries to put you in the Halloween spirit. A Lamia is also a vampire. I didn't know that one as well, and I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing it right, but 18 of you are moving on to the final questions. You know, liquors, monsters, Guy Fieri. If you get this next one right, you will call yourself a winner today and take home a whole chunk of change. Question number 12. Which is a deficit? Is it black ink, red ink, or blue ink? It's another way of saying deficit, and chances are you've heard it before if you're involved in sales. You never want to have a deficit. That certainly is not good for business. So it makes sense that that would be red ink. It made sense to me. 16 of you are winners tonight. Congratulations, you are splitting your share of $500. I am so proud. These were a tough deck. Don't forget though, you have 2 more chances to win tonight. Join us and our friends at Hang Time at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for a special game with JMO and Steve. And make sure you also download the Hang Time app to play another game with both of them at 10 p.m. So many chances to take home the prize tonight. And if you want that $500 to go up, 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 all you have to do is go to our trivia and retweet our last pinned tweet about the game. For every retweet, we will continue to add to that pot of cash, so you could go home with a whole lot of dollars tonight and start your Friday off with a bang. Don't forget to follow us, of course, at the Q Trivia on all social media. I will see you guys tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, but until then, have a great night. Bye, everybody.